Tony, just what went wrong offensively tonight?
I don't think we capitalized on the situation at hand starting back in the first inning. We're in a spot where, really you got Drew Gilbert up maybe with the bases loaded, nobody out, and could throw all kinds of other stuff that goes in hand with that if you were watching the game, but didn't happen. And then the second and third inning also a threat there, and just did not execute smaller things. It happened later in the game too when we could have got a guy over with a bunt, but it hurts a little bit more when you're leaving 3-4 guys on base. Of course, the old deal is too, you'd always like to have guys on base, but we just didn't do a good job with the guys that were erratic in the zone and out of the zone.
Were you pleased with intensity and effort in those intangibles?
Yeah, I mean, heck, I think both teams hooked it up for I don't know how many hours. In particular, the pitchers really picked each other up, and defensively, we made a miscue at the end of the game, but guys were locked in the entire day. Of course, Evan Russell's grinding his butt off, back behind the plate. It's just, offensively, it's not easy to score runs, but it is easier if you have guys at third base, second base, or first base, or all the above. And maybe the intensity or intent at the plate was a little too much in a few different situations. But for the most part, the guys showed up to play. We had a quirky deal where maybe there was an accident or traffic and, got to the park late. But I don't think there was any lingering effect of that. The guys bounced around in pregame, and once a game starts, and we started the game with 2 base hits, but from there it was not all downhill, but a lot downhill.
How uncharacteristic is that? And did it seem like maybe there's more pressing after kind of failing to capitalize the first 3 innings?
It just seemed like painful. I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, I don't think anyone was, upset or more frustrated or trying harder. It's just a strange flow to the start of the game or lack thereof. And, there's a lingering cloud there maybe of we didn't do as good of a job as we could have. But, to be honest with you, too, they're smart kids, but they're kids. I think a little bit of that is more over the coaching staff's head than it is the players. They see a tied-up game on a Thursday night, one of the only games going on in the country, and they want to win it. But we did not do enough to do that.
A couple things that went right is the outfield with Jordan back. How impressed are you with what he was able to do tonight, especially that throw to home plate? Yeah,
I mean, I think he's, turned himself into an all-around baseball player on the bases, especially as a base runner, and then in the outfield defensively. And he had some good at-bats. He just didn't have anything to show for it. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't have any hits. But, we usually play more than 9 guys, but if we only play 9, we just need you to go out there and help us win in as many different ways as you can. You need to hand in your resume at the end of the day. And it might be 0 for 5, but it might be a resume that said my at-bats were tough, or I battled a guy with 2 strikes, or I moved a runner. I kept the ball in front every time, or communicated well on defense. I mean, even I had a few days where I played where I contributed. So if we got 9, 10, 11 guys that do that, then, I like our chances. They're better to win, obviously.
What about Camden Sewell? How's he doing? So he got pulled and...
Yeah, he'll be angry with me and all that. And I don't know if anyone's a good lip reader, but he kept saying, I can get this guy and then it'll be over. But, we are towards the end of the SEC season, but there's plenty of time left in the year for him to go out there, and maybe even Sunday if he feels great. But I'm not, I ain't the moral compass of college baseball. I think everybody knows that, but I ain't interested in risking a deal there, especially at this point in the year with